Hi guys. Okay, so today I'm sharing with you something super cool. Really excited to share this. So I'm going to show you how to go from a brand identity, right? Your visual identity of your brand, to having an agent take that and then um, create artifacts, decks, templates, whatever you want, right? Instagram posts, whatever you want, lookbooks on Figma. So we're going from the core design template, the core design specification of your brand to decent output on Figma from these. So Aaron Levie has been very emphatically speaking about this on his X account. You should follow him if you don't. Like these models are amazing, but they need a harness, right? They need to be guided to get to the output you want. That's why a lot of people who actually work with these models or try to implement them to do certain things face a lot of friction, and naturally the output is not deterministic, right? And models kind of sometimes drift left and right based on the context, and it's not easy to guide them to the right output. So operators and people with the technical ability to kind of be able to piece together a way to harness that LLM to be able to execute and give you the output you want is going to be something very critical. And I personally think it's going to become even more and more important as the models become better, not less, right? And there's many reasons for that we're not going to get into. So today I'm going to go walk you through this. Google Labs released their design.md spec. So this is a format specification for describing a visual identity to coding agents. This is they just open sourced this recently, like 3 weeks ago. This is what they use internally for I think they have an app called Stitch, which allows you to create things using your brand, using visuals from your brand. So they open sourced the designer.md spec, and we're going to use this to kind of scaffold this agent that's going to be able to do all these things, right? So here, I'm going to walk you through it. So first thing you need to do is you need to create your own design.md skill, right? And to do that, you need to use this spec. So what you do is all right, so you just prompt your agent. All right, so you just prompt your agent this, and what that's gonna do is, right, that's gonna create a design. All right, so that's gonna create a skill for you. So what is this? What does the prompt say? It says read the design.md spec, and then you just put in this URL, right? You plug it in here, and then you say, okay, then create a design.md file for, and you just give it all the context you have. So all your logo, your website, anything you have related to your brand and your identity, you just put it in there, and you give this to your agent, right? That's step one. Step two is you need to connect the Figma MCP. This is they have clear instructions how to do that. Very simple. You just give the instructions page to your agent, and they should be able to configure that Figma MCP. So now we have these two things, right? So we have the design MD, and then we have the agent here, right? So the agent is sitting here. Sorry, right? We have the agent is sitting here, and the agent has access to this MCP, and the agent has access to this design MD skill, right? This is a skill. It's just a set of instructions that's specific to your brand, right? So next thing you need to do is you need to give your agent this prompt, and this is needed to populate, to basically update your Figma variables and your Figma tokens based on the spec. So you say, okay, using Figma MCP, create variables in this Figma file. You can just create a design file in Figma and just paste it here, matching the tokens in my design MD file. So it's just going to create the template uh, variables and tokens and all the color schemes and everything that's come from your design MD file. And it's going to put it in Figma, in this Figma file. So now your agent knows, all right, so this is the Figma template. We're going to use this design file to um, when creating things, right? So we have all this stuff. So you're going to end up, after you do these two things, right? So we decided to do these, create the skill, the design MD file, connect our Figma, and then prompt the agent to create a design file. So this is what it would look like. This is mine. This is a Figma file. This is just a test run I ran earlier. This is a visual template I created. We'll use this to test in a bit. Let's kind of, so now this is my agent. He's set up like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him instructions to build me a slide, right? So I have content related to a slide that I'm just going to paste here. Can you create this new slide? And I'm going to paste the instructions. So these are the instructions that I have. This is the content of the slide. This is a slide related to it's like a cybersecurity thing, just a random I asked Claude to ask the Claude to just generate something for me quickly. So this is kind of the content of the slide. You know, what should be the visual that supports this kind of slide. I'm gonna press enter, and now my design expert is gonna go and start doing shit, and it's gonna take probably like 3-4 minutes, and we'll come back and we're gonna see what it generates here. Okay, so it's done. Just to recap, remember this was the slide. So the slide's gonna have some sort of text information, and then a key insight, and then a visual. That's kind of those were my directions. The visual is a stylized diagram of Natanz, animated USB drive crossing the air gap parameter. We're just talking about how Stuxnet was executed. So yeah, so it does a bunch of things, uses the MCP, and then it creates a slide. So remember the agent is using this all the time because this is part of this. This is the design.md skill that it references every single time because we told it to. The Figma MCP is there with all the Figma skills. The template file on Figma already has all the tokens because it was populated. So it's kind of referencing all these things at the same time to be able to get to something pretty much interesting and pretty good. So here's the slide that was created. This is the content text is just as is, as I just formatted things differently. Put the title, the key insight in in a nice way. And as you can see, you've used all our kind of brand identity colors. This is Fedora. This is my company. These are the brand colors, right? So the agent understood all those things from the design.md spec and then was able to create the slide based on all these stuff. And visually, I guess let me see if this makes sense. Yeah, so this is explaining what happened. So this is the infected contractor laptop, and this is kind of the Natanz facility that was infiltrated by compromising this laptop and this employee who plugged in a USB drive whenever he was inside. So yeah, this is kind of, I mean, I would tweak a few things, but the basics are there, right? So you can kind of move the thing around. I can say, you know what, I don't like the black, I don't like, I can just do something like this. So you just copy the element. Can you change this to the gray instead of black background? So I can just like do little edits and then it's gonna. So you can do this for like anything. Like I created proposal template, graphic, anything kind of would work. Let's see how long would this edit would take. Here, so it's it changed this to this kind of gray, which is interesting. Agents now are this powerful. They can go. You can with the right guidance and the right tools and all the right information in the right places, you can really get to outputs that are very close to what you want. And I think with a bit of tweaking to some of the things, I can get this to 100%, like production quality output that I can just share on social media or Instagram or whatever it is, right? Or to partners or anything that you can do. Anyways, if you have any questions or if you want the prompts, DM me or just message me and I'll give you the prompts and the links as well. So thanks for watching.